Yo, Triple 8 Mega here, Bad Deck Enthusiast. And after you guys have been asking and being patient with new DESPIA support, here I am with the updated deck list. I'm proud to show you guys my Duel.MAX deck list with the new Guardian Chimera from the Invincible Raid Selection Pack. But first, please like and subscribe. We're on the road to 100 subscribers, and it will mean a lot to me. Follow me on twitch.tv/Triple 8Mega. I stream almost every day. So when you get the notification, pop in and say hello. And last but not least, please let me know in the comments what deck you would like me to visit in the future. Now, without further ado, let me take you through the deck list. There are a few changes since the last deck list, and these changes allowed me to clap my way to Duel.MAX through all the adventurers and the flunderies and the stinky elders decks that prevent you from having fun. So check it out and let me know what you think. Thank you. So I know what you're gonna say. Yo, Meg, I don't have diviners. Yo, do I need diviner? Yeah. My opinion, diviner has not let me down. That's one of the new additions. Is the diviner package with Trias Hierarchia. It's a cool combo you can do if you don't open up Aliber, but you open up Poly or a field spell. Then you can either normal summon diviner, send the tragedy to the graveyard to search any of your other guys, or send a Trias to the graveyard. Trias tribute diviner to summon itself to the field, and then diviner triggers, and it could summon a tragedy from the deck. So then you can fuse it away, get your search. If you happen to have another way to fuse, then you're cooking from there. You're cooking with grease, and you're ready to go. Another addition here is Tikaboo. Now, yeah, I know what you're gonna. Yeah, it's a floodgate. No, don't play floodgates. But yeah, you gotta play Tikaboo. Tikaboo is very good. It slows down flunderies. They can't play through it. Sword Soul can't play through it. Adventurer Synchro has trouble playing through it. You name it. Prank Kids probably can play through it, but who cares about Prank Kids? Yeah, Tikaboo is very good in this deck. It does not slow us down whatsoever. Most of our main deck are fairies, but usually you only have one on the field at a time. And when you go to the extra deck, these are fiends. Masquerade is a fiend. Quiritus is a fiend. Guardian Chimera is a beast. Dragostapelli is a plant. Starving Venom's a dragon. And as you can see, yeah, so it really doesn't affect us, but it slows our opponents down enough for us to get in there for game, or it distracts them to pop that instead of the field spell, which also allows us to get in there for game. Now you have the new addition to the deck, Guardian Chimera. This card is busted. What it does is when you fusion summon it using like a spell card, you can only use its cards from your hand or field, but it's at least one of each, and then you get to draw cards depending on the amount of cards you use to fuse from your hand, and pop cards depending on the amount of cards used to fuse from the field. And it's pretty cool because it's non-targeting destruction. Also, if you get the polymerization to the graveyard, which you will have because you're going to use it to summon him, now he's untargetable on top of that. So he can dodge Imperm, Effect Veiler, and the only card, he can be Ash, but usually by the time you summon this guy, Ash, they already wasted their Ash on something else. Incredible card, probably the best card for the deck, at least until the new Branded Fusion gets here. And best believe when Branded Fusion comes out, I will be making another update on this deck again, because this deck gets amazing after that. But yeah, the Diviner is really good. Aliber is your best normal summon, Diviner being your second best normal summon. So you kind of want to play Diviner. Super Poly comes in clutch when you go second. You don't want to go second, but if you happen to go second, your opponent uses Verte Anaconda to summon DPE, then you just Super Poly it away into Dragostapelia, and they get to cry. But the deck is pretty cool. The Patrick engine is a must. It allows you to get card advantage. It allows you to bait Ash. We're only playing one Ash and one Max C again. I was playing more at first, but I cut them. I was playing other hand traps. I cut those too. This is just the most consistent I've been able to get this deck after tinkering with it for about a day or two. And it's pretty cool. We were playing Twin Twister. I was playing more than one at one point. But there's just too many floodgates on the ladder, including us. But there's too many floodgates on the ladder. So you have to play back row removal. You will not get away without playing it. Call by the Grave and one cross out to protect us from hand traps. And that's pretty much the main deck. For the extra deck, Natis, you can send it to the graveyard with Diviner the Herald. So that's the only reason why we're playing it. Starving Venom to get over big monsters. Dragon Stapelia is a negate, but if you, it's situational. It's a very good card, but it's not that easy to get out right away. Quiritus sets up OTK lines. Double Masquerade for the opening play when you go first. If you can stick two, but if you can stick one, that's still good enough. Guardian Chimera, of course, that's the main win condition at the moment. Proskinian is a good super poly target, and it shuts down decks like Sword Soul, or even like Shadal. You might see anything with a boss monster who wants to turbo their boss monster out first turn. If you make this guy going after that, you can steal their boss monster from the graveyard, especially if you use super poly to do so. Numeron Dragon for the OTK line, along with Hope Harbinger and Draglubion. I've never summoned Black Luster Soldier, but he's like my favorite Link monster, so I had to put him in there. Verte, it's very funny. Sometimes you'll use Verte to summon, to fusion summon, sending polymerization to the graveyard. That's funny. But don't do that with Guardian Chimera, because you won't get its effect. It specifically has to be a fusion spell card. And Dingersu comes in clutch. If your opponent allows you to stick 2 Masquerades, and they try to out them, you summon one back in their end phase, and one back in your main phase. And then if they don't respond to it, you summon Dingersu, and you send one of their cards away to the graveyard, non-targeted removal. The deck's pretty cool. We were able to clap all the way to Duel.MAX, and I will show you guys some of the duels from that, as long as my rank up duel. So thank you for watching, and check it out. Yo, so this first duel is crazy, and we're up against Triple D. After the new support, this deck is insane. And our opponent definitely had the spreadsheet, so let's get into it. We opened up Aluber, Dramaturge, Poly, Called by the Grave, and Tikaboo. And our opponent is going first. Kepler into the gate, use the gate, then he adds the Swirl Slime, fuses with the Swirl Slime, and the Griffin to summon the Flame King Genghis. Swirl Slime banished to summon the Orthros. Genghis summoned back the Griffin. Griffin will then add a card, adds the Headhunt. Then he goes into Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh can get pen skills from the deck, so he gets Orthros and Ragnarok. Pen summons the Griffin, goes into Wave King Caesar. Orthros pops to Caesar. That lets him add to the hand the Swamp Mirror. Then he goes into DESPIA. Swamp Mirror will then summon another Flame King Genghis. And I'm not sure if that was right. But then he could summon it back with the Ragnarok, make the rank 6, Wave High King Caesar. And he ends his turn with a Headhunt. Another card I don't know, Machinex, which can steal my monsters when they activate their effect, but not negate them. And Wave High King Caesar, which can negate special summons or effects to special summon. Not once per turn. And we rip into Branded Opening. We pitch it. We summon an Aluber. Activate its effect. He's going to steal it. He pops the Swamp Mirror. He steals it. We get to add the Field Spell. Using the Field Spell, we're going to fuse and make Quiritus. Now, I don't want to activate this Quiritus because this isn't once per turn. He can just steal it. But he could not negate the effect of the Field Spell to fusion summon. He's going to negate the Dramaturge. Headhunt will steal my Quiritus, and Dramaturge will get negated. So we're like, yo, how do we get out of this? We have Tikaboo. His whole deck is Fiend Monsters, and he stole my Fiend Monster. So Tikaboo's really going to put him out right now. He's going to search again, take 1,000. DD Griffin. Normal summon the Copernicus. Copernicus is going to send the Necro Slime. But it doesn't matter. He got rid of everything but the Machinex. He adds the Field Spell. Field Spell. We're going to take 3,000 here. But this is a lot better than what we would have taken had we not used the Tikaboo. And now you get to see us play through Tikaboo. But at first we just set the Tragedy because we don't have anything. And since our opponent's whole deck is Fiends, they really can't play right now. All they have is this one big Bungus monster. And they're going to keep attacking us with it until they find it out for the Tikaboo. That triggers him attacking us, triggers our Field Spell to summon back the Quiritus. And he's going to go to Zeus, which isn't out to Tikaboo. But at the risk of losing everything else, He even negates us from trying to activate our effect for no reason. But who cares? Quiritus gets to float here into Alibur, and then we're going to add a branded in red. And now he can play the game. So he goes Kepler into Gate. Necro Slime can infusion summon into High King Genghis, which can negate spell traps on his turn only. Divisor High King Machinex, whatever his name is, can steal my monster again. So he made sure that he ended his turn with this on the field because it gave me the most trouble. We ripped into Patchwork. We're going to Patchwork now. He has no Ash. Patchwork gets the Edge and the Poly. Tragedy will then trigger to summon, to play our field spell back. Branded in red. Get the Dramaturge. Guardian Chimera. Let's go. Guardian Chimera can then activate its effect. Dramaturge. Summon back. Pop. Draw 2. Get rid of his whole field. And we leave him on 1,000 because in the standby phase, his spell will make him take 1,000. So GG. Use the spreadsheet better. Now, this duel will show you the power of Tikaboo and why you should be playing it during this Duelist Cup. There can be only one. We're up against Drytron, and Drytron is a deck that plays multiple types, but they still need to get more than one machine monster on the field to make their plays, and they get really hindered in this duel. So we're going first. Patchwork into Edge of Chain and Poly. Fusion Summon into Masquerade. You kind of want to open this. This is the hand you want to open. You definitely want to see Tragedy and Patchwork in your hand every time. Summon a Masquerade. Tragedy will then add, as well as the Edge of Chain, to chain block the Tragedy because it's more important. So you have to be careful with that. So we get another Patchwork. We don't care if we would have got that Patchwork or not, but it's nice. Add the Dramaturge. We're going to then Alibur. Add the Branded in red, and now we're set up for Guardian Chimera. We have a Despia in the grave, one in the hand, and one on the field. So Branded in red will add the one in the grave to our hand, and then we can fusion summon with 2 in the hand and 1 on the field, which means we get to pop 1 card on the field and draw 2 cards. And who doesn't like Pot of Greed? I love Pot of Greed. So we set our Tikaboo, our Imperm, and our Branded in red, and here goes our opponent. So we notice right now that he's either on Cyber Dragon or Drytron. He adds the Drytron to his hand. And now I'm just waiting for him to commit to the field. Drytron Nova will make him commit to the field. And we Tikaboo. Now you cannot play another machine monster. So you know what he does? He makes Linkaribo, which is a Cyburst. Then he burns to activate his Alpha Thubin. Tribute into Zeta. Summon the Alpha. Adds the Benten, but still can't play another machine. So he goes into Verte. Verte is a plant that will summon a warrior. We're going to brand it in red right here to get rid of the Verte. Into our Guardian Chimera. We can also chain block the Guardian Chimera, which will always be very good. And we have the Poly in the graveyard already, so it's untargetable. Guardian Chimera will pop 1, draw 2. Tragedy will add a Despia to our hand. Dramaturge will summon itself back to the field, and this is dangerous because we're doing all of this while Tikaboo is on the field. Summon a Fairy, add an Alibur, which is a follow-up. Pop 1, draw 2. We drew into Ash and another Patchwork. So now we just want to Ash the Benten. He adds the Meteonis. He's still locked. No more machines on the field. Minus 600. We Ash the Benten. And he's going to cross out the Ash, take another 600. But even though he's crossing out the Ash, it does not matter. He still cannot get another machine on the field. So he can't Ritual Summon for a machine. And he's just locked. He adds the Diviner. He still has his normal summon. So he will normal summon the Diviner, take another 600. And we Imperm it. He's done. He can't summon another Fairy or another machine. Nor could he send to the graveyard, and he surrenders. And that's why Tikaboo is good. We can play through it just fine, and our opponent can't. So this last and final duel was my Duel-Level-MAX rank up game. And here we go. We open Foolish Burial, Edge of Chain, Twin Twister, Crossout Designator, Branded Open. This is not really a good hand. It's not the worst hand, but it's definitely not a good hand. We didn't open up a normal summon, but Foolish Burial could get us to one. But even if it does, it's not really like guaranteed that it's going to be good. So we will send Tragedy. Tragedy will then add the Aliber. Normal summon the Aliber to get Branded in red. Because we have Tragedy in the graveyard, Branded in red equals Chimera. Opening, pitch the chain. Chain gets us to Patchwork, which can get us to another chain and a poly. So we're going to do that now. And then we're going to use the poly, using the Aliber and the Drama. And this may be wrong, because this puts Drama on the field with Masquerade. And kinda means that I'm gonna have to choose between Tragedy or Aliber to bring back. And it's always Tragedy. You always want to brand it a red Tragedy or Drama, or a monster you're gonna gain an effect from when you fusion summon. So he opens up Lightning Storm, which isn't too good for us. It's going to force us to use our Branded in red now, as well as our Crossout Designator. Doesn't matter what we call, we're going to cross out Max C, because why not? And this last card, Twin Twister, is going to go to the trash, but that's fine. Tragedy back to the hand. Fusion summon into another Masquerade. You can't Lightning Storm me twice, and I'm in defense mode, so that's fine. So we're going to put Masquerade in defense mode and summon Drama in attack mode. Because if he has Raigeki after that, then he's just good at the game, you know? So summon a Dramaturge. Tragedy will get us an Aliber. We're set up. Next turn we can go for Guardian Chimera. He's going to summon Alistair. Alistair take 1200. Link it away. Into the Almirage, then into the Secure Gardener. And you've seen this play a million times. Normal summon Alistair, normal summon Alistair. Who cares? Invocation though. So we check our graveyard. He could make Cali good with our graveyard if he wanted, but that's nothing. He's going to go into Mechaba. We're going to trigger the Mechaba right away to challenge him to negate us with the card in his hand. And he has another Alistair in his hand, so we made him discard the Alistair. We're going to get our Dramaturge negated and banished, but that's fine. We played 2 or 3 of them. Fusion Destiny followed behind that though. That's insane. We're going to lose both of our monsters here. But he's down to 2600. He's been paying 1200 all turn, and he doesn't want to pop us to pay another 1200, so he's going to attack over us. Aliber can negate the DPE and summon back in a damage step, so he couldn't chain to pop it. And Masquerade will then go to the graveyard. So now, because DPE is negated, he can't pop us until our next turn. He's going to get back his Alistair, but that's pretty much it. In the end phase, we're going to summon back a Masquerade, and he can't pop us, so he has to wait till our turn. And like, that's not even a good idea because we have Branded opening in the graveyard. So we summon back another Masquerade and dare him to pop us. He doesn't pop us, so we summon Aliber. He's going to negate the Aliber. There goes his Alistair, and that's Alistair number 2. So now we're going to make Ding Gersu, which was not in the deck list last time. This is a new addition. It's really cool. You summon it, you non-target, send a card to the graveyard. We were going to choose DPE, but because he chained DPE to it, we're going to send a Mechaba. So he's going to pop DPE and Dingirsu. Dingirsu cannot be destroyed. We can pitch the Masquerade instead. Masquerade can now come back. You want to use your Masquerades as Xyz material, because then they, instead of getting banished, they can just keep coming back. So it's a 2500 monster. You could summon back on their turn and then your turn, and everything's good after that. Now he has exactly 26. Dingirsu to the face. We hit Duel.MAX. Everyone's happy, except this guy who just went to the shadows. And that's pretty much the deck. I had a lot of fun playing this deck. It took me about a day to figure out that Maybe I needed more normal summons. I was having consistency issues. I wasn't playing Diviner at first. I was trying to play a bunch of hand traps to counteract my opponent, but then they were all playing like trap Eldritch decks, and it wasn't working out. But now, we put in a Tikaboo because I realized that it was really strong before when I played during this time a while before, and it works very good against the meta, Flundereeze. It's good against Striker. It's good against Eldritch. You name it. Tikaboo is the card. Sword Soul can't play under it. As soon as they summon Moyi and a token, you flip this. They gotta send a token or the Moyi to the graveyard, and then they can't summon anything. It's really good. Usually I'm annoyed with floodgates, but if your opponent's gonna flip them on you, you might as well flip them on them. So yeah, this is it pretty much. Dengersu I feel is a really good addition. We were playing Zeus, but it never came up, so I took it out and just put in a monster that I know and love, and I hope everyone knows and loves it too. So yeah, we were playing triple dramaturge, but we dropped one. We were playing double ad-lib, but we dropped one. The Diviner package with the Trius is really cool. It allows you to get 2 monsters on the field when you otherwise wouldn't be able to. And then getting a Tragedy from the deck is also pretty good, because if you can get it to the graveyard by card effect, then you're cooking with grease. So that's the deck. We were playing 1 Imperm. It comes up. It's not even for cross out. It just comes up. It's really good. It stops Hulk. It stops anything. I would like to play more, but I'm really iffy about going over 40 cards when you're playing this low count of monsters. This deck instantly loses to IO. IO sucks. It happened to me a lot of times. So yeah, this is the deck. Please enjoy it. If it works for me, it can work for you. Peace out.